Yeah, good evening, Dr. Bodhi. Thank you so much for waiting. I just get back from the office. Thank you. Hello, Dr. Bodhi. Can you hear us? Hello. Yeah, anybody hear me? Not in the mic. Oh, Dr. Bodhi, can you hear us?
Hello,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So can we start now for some people to come?
Yeah. Thank you so much for waiting. I just get back from the work. Yeah, from office.
Okay, no worries. We'll wait for 5 minutes. That's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I will share the screen. And, I will share the screen on the
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Can you see that the screen and
Oh,
this?
yeah, now I can see your screen here. That's good. Thank you.
All right, and let's go ahead with the 10 fetus, right? Fetus.
Hmm?
10 fetus.
Yeah,
10
I can see the
screen.
yeah, screen. I can see. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Now, yesterday we were talking about I started from the beginning actually yesterday.
Yeah.
So what I thought is to go through the other parts and get into the third book that we have written, which is quite interesting. The
Yeah.
five sutras.
5 sutras on
Yeah,
the med.
yeah, that when you are listening to the five sutras, you get a better understanding about why we study these things.
Yeah. Okay.
As I said yesterday, so people may be wondering why we study all these things. For what? Because Buddha has used these terms here and there in the sutras.
Hmm.
So when it comes to the, you know, when it comes to understanding the sutras, we need a better understanding about these things.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask a question here. Is it too early to start at 8:30, you think? Or if I start at 9, more people will can participate or something like that?
Mm, 9. Yeah. 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 You
8:30?
can.
Hmm?
Can you can start. Yes, I think so. It's okay. It's okay. So you can start at this time, 8:30, 8:30, no problem.
This time is okay. Right. People can come. That's good. All right. I'll wait for another 2, 3 minutes. But uh, I would like to go to our unwholesome actions are explained in these parts.
Yeah.
I would like to emphasize on the 5 hindrances again and again.
Okay.
5 hindrances. Yeah,
All right.
Panchanyana Dhamma, yeah, 5 hindrances. I would like to emphasize on that because that is a part where the karma is coming to the system. Karma. Kama Chanda, the starting point. Kama Chanda. Now, karma is made out of so many things. Karma is made out of so many things. As I said, there are upadana rupa, which we make in our own.
Yeah.
Upadana rupa.
Exactly.
Different people create different upadana rupa. So that is why some people say that's a nice flower. Other might say, no, that's not that, I don't think that is nicer than the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I know.
people select things. Some people like different colors. Some people like, for
But
example, color of red. But some people say, I don't like the red, blue,
yeah.
green, so there are so many selections. So that comes from the upadana, how you treat the upadana rupa. People treat the upadana rupa in different manner. So upadana rupa is coming from nowhere. It's coming
Mm.
from nowhere because we create that.
Yes, yes.
It
Now
is not
well.
a, it is not an existing thing. That's why Buddha said rupa is it's a bubble.
Yeah, yeah. Like a bubble.
Bubulupama is a bubble. So the
Yeah.
best example is when the rainy season, rainy day, you can see all the water drops are hitting on the ground. So
Mm.
bubbles, so make the bubble it disperse or breaks then and there.
Mm. Yeah.
So Buddha used that particular example to say it is this upadana roop like bubbles sitting on the water or on the ground, which will disappear in no time. So that is what we are catching or searching for, and finally we are suffering with upadana roop.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, so just imagine from the day we come to know this world, maybe 5 years, 4 years, or whatever, from that day up to now, how many upadana rupas we have created so far and suffered.
Incredible. Countless.
Yeah. So upadana rupa. Now see now this is upadana rupa. Creating upadana rupa is a factor of Sakkaya Ditti, which is if you look at the 10 fetters, the very first one is Sakkaya Ditti. Sakkaya
Okay.
Ditti is if you go to that and this, it's better to go there and come back. So if you go to
Mm-hmm.
the Sakkaya Ditti,
Mm-hmm.
which is made out of Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha, Kukkucha, all four are contributing to
Shanghai TT.
become Sakkaya Ditti. Sakkaya Ditti is the wrong view, we say, wrong view.
Yeah.
On
Room
what?
view. Oh, yeah.
The wrong view on the things that we see in this world. So we have got a strong view. We select the things wrongly and we create upadana rupa in our interior or in the mind. Then we put, all sort of, uh, flavor into that. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it, sort of flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and we try to get happiness through that.
Yeah.
So Buddha is asking us if a fake or fictitious, the upadana rupa, if the upadana rupa are fictitious, how come you're going to get permanent happiness? Because the fake thing cannot give you permanent happiness. So
Yeah.
it's not there. We believe it is there, but it is not. So if you can get the rupa from the outside, vastu rupa, they call vattu rupa, the rupa of all the items in the outside world as it is, as they are, into our system, we won't attach. For example, when we are not going to attach to everything that we see in this world on that particular day. We are not going to attach to everything. We attach to certain things. So if you look at the other things that we are not attached to through kama chanda, they are not bothering us. They're not hurting us, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Buddha asks us to look at the things that we attach onto in the same manner that we don't attach to. So if you don't attach to these things that strong, then we can minimize or we can ease the sufferings quite well. That is the point the Buddha is making. So Sakkaya is made out of Kamachanda. Now see, whenever there is an intention to have happiness, what you have to understand is Buddha's words, Buddha says, not only your mind, your body also reacts or activates. Whenever we see something, without our knowledge, the particles of the body, the physical body, also undergo certain things without our knowledge. So it reacts. The system you know, uh, agitated or excited or whatever you say. So it is ready to change. So when the system changes, the particles of the body has to change. Physical body has to change. Change what? Its way of behavior, the way it behaves. So the behavior of the particles would change as you attach to the outside worldly rupa. So that change will bring us the compression, sort of compression into the particles, the squeezing of the particles at different rates, of course, different levels, depending on how strong your attachment is. Now you can see people when they get really angry, their entire body is shaking. When they
Yeah.
shout at somebody with that strong, anger, what happens is the entire body is shaking, vibrating. Then the body gives a message to the system, shout, shout, shout. Then they shout. Then the body gives the message to the thing that person is focusing at, to either to assault or kill or whatever. So that is how the body reacts. So actually speaking, we have to look after our body particles rather than the mind. You know, people
Yeah.
don't say that, but is what Buddha said. You look after your body rather than the mind. Because
Mhm.
when you get a thought, you can ignore the thought without carrying out what the thought says.
Mhm.
But when that body particles start to react, That's hard to stop. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I know.
So it's
That's
rather,
okay.
I'm not telling not to look after your thought, but it's hard to look after the thought, easy to look after the body particles. So go for the body particles, try to control that, then the thought can't, proceed anymore. So I have to look after my particles of the body rather than going behind the thoughts. Because thoughts you can ignore and you can say to yourself, no, I'm not going to carry out what that thought says because my body is going to get disturbed. Then that person becomes an entirely different person. Now look at the person who is having a lot of anger against somebody. That particular person's entire body particle are going against that person, entire system. So that means that person is contaminating the entire body particles. So that contamination is rather dangerous
Yes.
because you can't shout at person without hurting yourself. That is what Buddha said. So you have to first we have to hurt ourselves to hurt others. If somebody is shouting at someone, that person who is shouting is going through enormous amount of stress.
Mm.
Then only the words and the actions come out. So it's very pretty dangerous system, that we are dealing with if we don't treat it properly. So I said all these things to explain Sakkaya Ditthi, what Sakkaya Ditthi can do. Sakkaya Ditthi brings the doubt,
Yeah.
suspicion. So
That's
Sakkaya
me.
Ditthi is Kamacchanda, Vyapada, Thinamidda, Uddacca, Kukkucca. So that means, so if you look at the five hindrances, the first four is Sakkaya Ditthi because in this Dasa Samyojana or fetters, next one is doubt, Vichikiccha. So Sakkaya Ditthi, Vichikiccha, earlier one we learned to come to Vichikiccha, we have to go through Kamacchanda, Vyapada, Thinamidda, Uddacca, Kukkucca, then comes the Vichikiccha. So these all four are embedded in Sakkaya Ditthi, all four. Sakkaya Ditthi is Kamacchanda, Vyapada, Thinamidda, Uddacca, Kukkucca, all together. If you join them together, combine them together, that is Sakkaya Ditthi. So it's easy to understand if you have understood the five hindrances properly, then easy to understand what Sakkaya Ditthi means.
All right. Yes.
So that is how we look at it rather than, getting a description about it. So you have
Yeah.
to look at that way. That is what I do. I look
Mm-hmm.
at along those lines because there is no harm because it's all Buddha's teachings. So we can
Yeah.
combine together, we can look at together, we can bring, the Sakkaya Ditthi and the five hindrances together and the 10 fetters. Then we can bring the 10 unwholesome actions also into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
All these things are bad things, bad actions. We are dealing with all bad actions. All these terms means they're dealing with bad actions. So Sakkaya Ditthi Vichikiccha. Then the next one comes Silabbata Paramasa. Silabbata Paramasa is nothing but it is a fake or shrewd strategy to achieve what that person is looking for. It is a fake, or the best word is shrewd, or cunning.
What?
Cunning. Cunning means,
Cunning. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
cunning. Cunning strategy, some sort of a
The
cunning
strategy
strategy.
is very
Yeah.
tricky.
So that is called Silabbata Paramasa. What for? Why that person is using all those strategies? To achieve what that person is looking for.
Yeah.
And the best example we gave is, if a child is trying to catch a butterfly, that child doesn't show to the butterfly that he's going to catch it. So it's very slowly go and get the butterfly. So they're very show some sort of calmness which is normally not with that child. That's the example. Also, a person who is trying to take the wallet of somebody, steal in the bus or somewhere, that person is very calm. You know what I mean? So it's very calm. So, so those things generally happening in the outside world. So Kamachan, the Sakkayaditthi, Vichikicha, Silabbata Paramasa, Kama Raga. Kama. Now see, look at that. The Kama is everywhere. That means it's, coming back. Kama Raga. That started point of Kama. Now see, we can't talk about Sakkayaditthi without talking about Kama Chanda, because Kama Chanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddhacca, all four are related to Sakkayaditthi. That is what we said, here. So that Kama is going to repeatedly work here. Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddhacca is the Sakkayaditthi, but Kama doesn't go away when it comes to the fourth item of Dasa Sangyojana. Sakkayaditthi, Vichikicha, Silabbata Paramasa, Kama Raga. Now, Kama Raga, look at the 10 unwholesome actions, that we started last time. Where is Kama Raga? Where is Kama Raga over there? There, now look at this. Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga. Now see, Kama Raga, Kama is the first one, fourth one is the Raga. So Kama is there, that's right. And the Raga is there. Now here, Kama Raga, that means all these things have happened. Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga, all happened. All happened there. Where? At the 10 fetters. You can go backwards and forwards. So it's combined with all these things together, Pancha Nivarana, or 5 hindrances, and also the fetters, all are joined together, working together as a group of hurtful producers.
Yes.
They're hurting us.
Yes.
Hurtful producer. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
be careful. So if you go back to the 10 fetters now, please. If you go to the 10 fetters, or
Okay.
yeah, if you
Impetus.
go there, we can look at that, Thank you. So 10 fetters, if you go to that Kama Raga, that's, yeah. Sakkayaditthi, Vichikicha, Silabbata Paramasa, Kama Raga. It's the next one. Kama Raga. That
Kamaraga.
means Kama Raga. So it's joined together, Kama Raga.
Yeah.
Sakkayaditthi, Vichikicha, Silabbata Paramasa, Kama Raga. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kamaraga, patiga. Patiga means the anger.
Mm.
Kamaraga, patiga. Now look at the, if you go, it's better to go here and there and look at them. So if you go to, I think you can remember what I'm talking about. Now, Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga, Loba, Dvesha. Now see, Dvesha is anger. Patiga is anger. Two different words given by Buddha. So it's the same thing. It's going over and over again, here and there.
Desha, Desha
Yeah,
is anger.
Dvesha. Dvesha is anger.
And how about the other one? Pati?
Desha is here.
Mm-hmm.
Dvesha is here. Patiga is in the other one. Patiga. Patiga also.
Can
Patiga.
fake it.
Yeah, yeah.
Can fake it.
Fetters. Patiga. Patiga is.
Patiga.
Patiga is. Dvesha and Patiga. They are both go together. Very strong. And Patiga is very strong.
Oh.
Stronger than the Dvesha. Dvesha can increase and increase up to Patiga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are in
Patiga.
the same category. That's right. Human system endure considerable disorder. Considerable,
Yeah.
I'll say.
Considerable.
It's
Oh,
higher. It's very higher. Yeah, that's right.
mm-mm.
So it's you have to bring that to here, this one to there, and weigh the two and see how they work. Make
Oh,
sense?
yeah. Makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, interesting and how they work together because Buddha's knowledge is
So extensive.
yeah, it's
Profound.
unparalleled.
Yeah,
Unparalleled.
unparalleled. Yeah, unparalleled.
So Patiga, then Kamaraga, Patiga. Now still that person is in that mood to get
Mm.
the happiness through that. So Sakkayaditthi is still working. Sakkayaditthi Vijikichcha is still working. Silabbata Paramasa is still working. Kamaraga is still working. That means Kama Tanna Rati Raga is still working. So you can replace Kama Raga with Kama Tanna Rati Raga, which is
Mm-hmm.
coming from there. But Buddha bring them together because that was said earlier. Kama Raga
Mm.
Patiga, so it's Raga, Kama Tanna Rati Raga, Lobha Dvesha Patiga. Dvesha. Dvesha is Patiga, right? At a higher level. Patiga.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, hurtful producers. Yes, that's right. So that's
Hurtful
yeah,
persistence.
yeah, that's what
Harmful.
produce within within
Oh,
our.
okay.
Mm. So Patiga, Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga. Now this Rupa Raga is the outside Rupa which was concentrating on to get the happiness. That
Mm-hmm.
Rupa is coming at a terrific speed into the interior or the mind of
Mm-hmm.
that person now. It's coming and going, come and go. Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga, Rupa Raga. Rupa Raga is
Yeah.
coming, Arupa Raga is going. Rupa Raga,
Okay.
Arupa Raga. Rupa is
Oh,
coming.
yeah. Coming and going.
But what it does, it brings Raga. Now see, Rupa Raga means Rupa comes. It doesn't stay there. It works with the system and make the system Raga. Repetitively asking, give me, give me, give me. Give me that. Give me that, please.
Mm.
Not enough, not enough, not enough. So it's like, asking for that too much. Rupa
Yeah.
Raga. Raga is repetitively asking. Rupa
Yes.
Raga, then once that is done the job hurting us, it will go away. Then the next Rupa comes from the same object or different object. Then the next Rupa comes, next Rupa comes. It's like looking at something and say, that is nice, 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 nice. So it comes and goes. Nice, it comes again, again, and again, and again. Rupa Raga, Rupa Raga. Okay.
Yeah.
Then next one is Mana.
Mana.
Mana means the rate of that particular Ruparaga process, Ruparaga, Aruparaga process is increasing.
Yeah.
When it increase the person's attention towards that is strong, and it's, like concrete, it is very strong. That person doesn't want to look at anything else. That person doesn't know what's happening around him or her,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because that ruparaga aruparaga is the thing that person is concentrating on very 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 strong.
Yeah.
When the mana comes, mana is, as I said, mana, we use the term. Now see, these terms are very useful for our sutras. Mana
Yeah.
mana is, has got so many meanings, but not meanings be, it can be, it can, that mana can be created due to various reasons. So mana comes from, if somebody is very proud of something, that mana comes into the picture.
Yeah.
The proudness or the pride is coming through
Pride.
the
Yeah.
ruparaga aruparaga, or something
Yeah.
about, so
Yeah.
something about, so all the things that we are containing in our system are rupa, nothing else. We cannot contain anything in our system without a rupa. That's what
Mm-hmm.
Buddha said. So whatever us, say, we say my mother, that's a rupa. My father is a rupa, because
Mm-hmm.
my siblings rupa, my children rupa, the things, the house, the car, you name anything, good friends,
Yeah.
bad friends, the enemies, or friends, or whatever, all are rupa. So we
Yeah.
are we are struggling with rupa all the time. So yeah, we
Just
have
let
to
them go
realize
home.
that, so how much rupa we, from the time we get up in the morning until we go to bed, how many rupas we are dealing with. Not only that, when you go to bed, dream comes with rupa, so they are coming
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
dream. So it's non-stop. No matter you are
Non-stop.
sleeping or awake.
Yes.
Terrible situation. So
Yes.
that's why Buddha said, be careful about this upadana rupa. So if a person is creating upadana rupa, very strongly, that can get, it becomes raga. It's coming every time. Raga is repetitively coming. You go to
Mm-hmm.
bed, it comes in. You go to, you go for a, walk, it comes in. You eat something, that comes in. No matter what, because it depends on how strong you are with that particular rupa.
Mm-hmm.
That is called remembering, repetitively remembering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a good remembrance, because if you get, if you remember what you have studied, that's better. But if you remember something, which hurts you, or hurts somebody else, it's not good. So that's what Buddha said. Rupa is always with us. It's a
Yeah.
billions of millions of rupa is embedded in our system.
Yeah.
So it's mana. So the rate is going to go up, then it will reach its peak or the highest level, uddacha. So mana can go up to there. Now see, now you don't read this to that, but you can read raga, rupa raga, arupa raga, then you can say uddacha, because that's also going up to highest level. So it's kamachanda is going to the highest level is uddacha. Anything goes to the highest level, uddacha. Now see, sakkayaditi going to the highest level, uddacha. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that word for anything. Uddacha is, kamachanda goes to uddacha, highest level. Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha, Kukucha, all these things, Uddacha, Kukucha. There is Uddacha, Kukucha, here also Uddacha. Now look at two things. No, it's the same thing. It's happening over and over again. So it's the same. Buddha's teachings are very unique. When Buddha use one word, Buddha doesn't give so many meanings to one word. One word, one meaning. One
Good.
word, one meaning, not too many meanings, because people get
Yeah.
confused. But in books
Yes.
I have seen, people are explaining, things with so many, they are giving so many meanings for one word, which is not right. People get
Mm.
confused.
Yes. And we need to
Mana
select.
Uddacha. When it is at a higher level, Uddacha, Mana Uddacha Avidya. Avidya
Ah.
is, next one is Avidya. What is this Avidya is the entire system is getting disturbed, and finally that person is becoming a blind person, just can't see the truth of this world, can't see the real truth happening to me, can't see that. So what happens? That is the doorstep or the door to get into the avidya paccaya sankara paccaya vijnana paccaya namarupa paccaya, that is going through the next set of items which brings enormous amount of suffering. So that is the door to enter the hurtful consequences which are made from the dependent origination. So avidya,
Ah.
we go to the next one, the dependent origination. The
Mm-hmm.
next topic is coming, starting with avidya. So all these things are happening pretty quickly. Sakkaya Ditti, Vichikicha, Silabbata Paramasa, Kamaraga, Patiga, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddacha, Avidya. All these
Mm.
10 items are happening pretty fast, and that person is unfortunately getting into this particular Paticca Samuppada or dependent origination. The very first item is Sakkaya Ditti. Sorry, Avidya, not Sakkaya Ditti.
Avija. Yes.
Avidya.
Avija.
So Sakkaya Ditti, starting from Sakkaya Ditti? No, it's starting from Kama. It's now look at up to this point what we have studied. So this system is going through all these things. It's going through,
Yeah.
if I read them, Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga, Lobha, Dvesa, Moha, Macharya, Krodha, Vaira. Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha, Kukucha, Vichigicha. Then goes to Sakkaya Ditti, Vichigicha, Silabbata Paramasa, Kamaraga, Patiga, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Man, Uddacha, Avidya. Avidya Pattya Sang. Now, all these things, combining all these, bad, hurtful actions, throwing us into this particular mess. So it is waiting to take us because we have practiced all the bad actions. If not, we are not there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's quite interesting, but it giving the message by the Buddha not to get into that particular mess, because that mess, look at that mess. If you go to a little bit further down, you can see avidya patya sankar, avidya patya sankar. So avidya is changing our system, our entire body. It's hurting the entire system. Avidya patya, just stop there, please. Here. So avidya patya sankar. Sankara brings vijnana. Vijnana brings namarupa. So these are cause and effect process. Ultimately giving Jati Jara Vyadi Marana Soka Parideva Dukkha Domanasa. Dukkha is suffering, fearful suffering. Dukkha Domanasa. If I read that slowly, Avidya Pachya Sankara, Sankara Pachya Vijnana, Vijnana Pachya Namarupa, Namarupa Pachya Salayatana, Salayatana Pachya Passa, Passa Pachya Vedana, Vedana Pachya Tanna, Tanna Pachya Upadana, Upadana Pachya Bhava, Bhava Pachya Jati, Jara, Vyadi, Marana, Soka Parideva, Dukkha Domanasa, Domanasa, Payasa, Sambhavanti, Eva me tassa, Kevalassa, Dukkhaskanda Samudayo Hoti. If I give it in a very briefly what it is, Avidya is coming from the 10 fetters. It changes our system. When I say, as I said at the beginning, to look after our body, physical body, so that is the one is going to get hurt. Sankara Pachya Vijnana, then the hurt is, you can feel that hurt, Vijnana, for good, but you are feeling it as good. It has good, not as
Mm.
bad. That's the problem because there is an intention to get the happiness. So it's all
Mm.
all these things are doing by a person to get the happiness, which is
Yeah.
a fake thing. But that person looks that vijnana or that feeling as good. Then that vijnana is helping to bring the rupa into the system more and more. If it is from the same object, yes, it is coming from the same object. So it's nama rupa. That means nama means thoughts, rupa means upadana rupa. Here, rupa means upadana, nama rupa. So it's upadana rupa. So upadana rupa makes the thoughts, rupa, vedana, sanya, sankara, vinyana. Those are the items of a thought. So if instead of writing nama, Buddha could have written here rupa, vedana, sanya, sankara, vinyana. So that is nama. Nama is a thought. So nama, to make nama or to make thoughts, so you can replace nama as thoughts, rupa as upadana rupa. So you can say vijnana paccaya, thoughts and upadana rupa. There is no mistake there. Can you understand
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Vijnana paccaya nama rupa means vijnana is the feeling, is asking for more and more thoughts to feel about it. Now,
Mm.
thoughts give feelings. So, this, what Buddha says here is when the feeling comes to get the happiness through that particular item, that person's system is asking intentionally or unintentionally from the system to make more thoughts. That is nama. To make more thoughts, we need more upadana rupa. That's why Buddha wrote these two together. Why Buddha said nama rupa instead of
Mm.
said nama and go to another step and say nama brings rupa? No, because they work together. They can't work separately.
Yeah.
Whenever there is a nama, there's a thought, there's a rupa. When there's a rupa, there's a thought. So they are working together. So we must know why nama rupa are put together by the Buddha. So you can't separate them. So nama rupa is giving thoughts. Pachya salayatan. That means without the five senses. Salayatana means five senses. The eyes, the nose, the tongue, you name the body and the brain and everything. They are working together. Salayatana, they get up. they start to react, they start to activate. So they without, but when there is a thought, always our 5, 6 senses are going with that. That's why Buddha said, Namarupatya Salayatana. So the Salayatana means all the 6 senses. The 6 senses are Salayatana Patya. That Patya means it brings passo. So Patya means brings. Avidya brings Sankara. Sankara brings Vijnana. Vijnana brings Namarupa. Namarupa brings Ayatana, that's senses. Ayatana brings Passa. Can you follow up to that point, or do you want me to go back?
Yeah, a little bit hard for me.
Okay,
And
I'll
yeah,
go
I
slowly.
need
Right.
to,
Okay, now
yeah,
I went that fast because we did this earlier, but I think
yeah,
that's too much. Yeah. Okay, we'll go to the
yeah.
first. Avidya Patya Sankar. So that means now we know where the avidya came from. Avidya came from Sakkaya Ditthi Vicikiccha, the 10 fetters.
Mm,
So if you go through that 10 fetters, slowly, when you got time, just go through that 10 fetters over and over again, then you get a
mm.
better understanding. 10 fetters.
10 fetus.
Yeah, 10 fetters or the Sangyojana. That's right. Sangyojana. So, okay, we go through the Sangyojana again now instead of
Mm-hmm.
going through the next one. Okay. Sangyojana. Sakkaya Ditthi is coming from Kamachanda Vyapada Tinamindu Uddacha Kukkucha, which is coming from 5 hindrances. So they are all
Yeah,
interrelated. They are all interrelated. They are all interrelated. We can't, separate them.
we cannot.
They are integrated. Buddha, what happened is they are integrated, they are working together for us to understand. Buddha separate them as much as Buddha can. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
Buddha
I
has
totally agree.
separated these things here. So Buddha has separated these things for the layman to understand easily.
I'm a lemon.
Yeah, we are
Lemon.
layman. We are layman. So we are still trying to figure out what these things are because we are still in the dark. If we are not
Yeah,
in the dark, we won't learn these things because Buddha says once you have, eliminated all these things, you don't need this because it's all used.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at that again, Sakkaya Ditti, Sakkaya Ditti means there are two sounds, Sakkaya and Ditti. Sakkaya is wrongly identified, wrongly getting to. Ditti. Ditti means, but a lot of books says Ditti is what you see. No, Ditti is what you feel like doing when you see something. That is Ditti. Ditti is not only seeing something,
Mm-hmm.
it's right. It's something you see something, yes, Ditti. But what you feel like doing, that is Ditti.
Yeah.
So
DT.
Sakkaya Ditti means you try to do something once you see something with that in a manner where it brings suffering. That is the problem.
Mm.
That's why Buddha
Yeah.
says. That is why it says Sakkaya. If you elaborate the meaning, if you elaborate the meaning very broadly, if you elaborate the meaning of that very, very broadly, what happens is there are two sounds. Sakkaya, one sound, Ditti is another sound. I don't like to say two words because these are Buddha's terms. So Buddha's language you can't write the Buddha's language. We have used the English language to write Buddha's sounds. All our
Mm.
Buddha's sounds are there. There is no, Magadhi is not a not a written language. It is a colloquial language. What it means is it has got sounds but no vocabulary. Magadhi language.
Yes.
2500 or more than years ago, Buddha used the colloquial language. Colloquial means people use that language to communicate. It has got sounds, they have never put them in writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
sound, the
that's
sound
Magadhi.
language, not written language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's colloquial. You say colloquial, or it's the Magadhi language. It's like, if you go to uh, a very remote area, you can find different tribes. Different tribes speak different languages, but they are
Yeah.
colloquial. They are sounds. They are not.
Yes.
They have no vocabulary to write them. There is no,
Yeah,
uh,
the sound.
yeah.
I can stand it. Yeah, very
Yeah,
basically.
that's why it's hard to understand because these we are dealing with sounds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there is no alphabet. There is no alphabet. I would
Yes.
say there is no
They test.
alphabet like A B C D like that. There is no alphabet for colloquial languages.
Yeah, okay.
So that you have to remember because it's Magadhi language is like that. So there is no alphabet. Anyway, Sakkaya Ditti. Sakkaya means it's we are catching that wrongly. We are dealing with that wrongly. Why we say wrongly? Because it gives hurtful results. That is why it says wrongly. Buddha says because
Yes.
that gives hurtful results. Consequences are so bad.
Yes, so bad.
It's hurting others and hurting yourself. So that is
Yeah.
sakka. Ditti means when you see something, feel like doing with it. So feel like doing something with it. So you see something, you feel like doing something with it, and the the, the sad thing is once we do something with it, it brings hurtful results. That is sakkaya ditti.
Yes.
But still, no one is going to tell us, don't do that. Now, there's another important point I had to make here, which is you may have not heard earlier. Now, see, what we have got is according to this, what's the knowledge we have got? There are two things we have got in the life. One is in this system, it says be in one side, then the system says no, be in the other side. What are these two sides? Be in the hurtful side, or no matter what, as long as you get the happiness, be in the other side, you don't get anything. So we are in a dilemma all the time. I don't know whether you understood what I said.
Yes.
Yeah, we have got two options. Either do away with sufferings and be neutral, you get nothing. Then people get scared because we are used to that, rhythm of getting the happiness through, attachment. So when we detach, we think, what is this? We have never experienced this. So we get scared to go along that path. That is the path Buddha asks us to go, but we are not used to that. You know what I mean? Buddha,
Yes.
Buddha mentioned this. So Buddha said, don't get scared, go along this path, which you had never experienced earlier, and see how good it is, rather than being in a path where it gives you all the time suffering. We are so used to that, we can't get rid of that most of the time. That's the dilemma we are faced with. I hope you can understand what I said.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So this Sakkaya going to that. Sakkaya is that whenever Sakkaya plays in our system, finally what we get? Avijja. That is the last item of this set. Sakkaya Vijikicha comes, Silabhata Paramasa comes, Kamaraga, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Patiga, Kamaraga, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddacha, Avidya. So Sakkaya gives us Avidya.
Avijja.
Avidya. Avidya is not sure what to do.
Yeah.
Something like that. Am
It,
I to take it or leave it?
ignorance. Something like ignorance.
Hmm? We can
Ignorance.
say ignorance and all sort of things, but I'm trying to explain here exactly what's happening to our system, physical system.
Okay.
Yeah,
Physical.
I'm using because if I write all these things in this book, you can imagine, I write a big paragraph for Avidya. The people won't like to read that. Too many.
I totally agree with you. I
Yeah,
can comprehend it.
yeah,
I can follow you.
yeah, this book now, me and my wife, we are always discussing this. If I want to write all these things, the book
Mm-hmm.
4 times bigger than this, maybe 10 times. So it's going to
And
read the
10
whole book.
times longer. Yes.
Yeah. So people won't, feel like reading that. They might think it's too much. So we brief them, but it doesn't give you the real meaning unless you have a discussion.
Yeah. So we need you.
Yeah, that's now see Avidya,
Explanations.
yeah, explanation. So actually Buddha said not to write, to have discussions. It is true because Buddha never wrote books. Because Buddha said if you write books, what will happen is the people who know might get confused. People who don't know about this, they will never look at it.
Mm,
Buddha said
yeah.
that. But
Yes.
but still we are writing because there is no any other media to get this through.
Yeah.
So avidya is, as you said, ignorance, yes, but for what? We are ignorant enough to get the hurtful results. That is
So,
avidya. So avidya
mm,
comes from where? Sakkaya ditthi.
psychiatry. Yeah,
So
psychiatry from
wrong decision,
wrong decision, wrong
wrong
view.
decision to get the happiness, but ultimately end up with avidya.
Mm.
Now see, it's don't worry about this. Uh, Maybe next time, are you happy to come tomorrow also? Or is it too much?
No, it's okay. It's okay
Okay.
for me. I
Ask,
like to listen to you. Yeah.
yeah, if others are also happy, we can come tomorrow. And what I'll do is I'll go to the first one of the sutras.
Oh, yeah.
Then I will bring these things to the sutra. All right.
Yes. Okay.
Especially Mana Uddacha Avidya, which is on the screen now. Mana
Yeah.
Uddacha Avidya, just remember these three terms until tomorrow.
Uh,
Mana Uddacha
Anna.
Avidya. Uddacha Avidya. Mana is the speed of that, Arupa
Yeah.
Raga. So the Mana is the Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga speed, or the way it comes into the system. Then
Mm-hmm.
Ucha means it's coming up, peak, then avidya. So
Yeah, Avija. Okay.
blindness, not working, not
Offline.
trying to perform to get the calmness.
Yeah.
Avidya is trying to perform to get the unhappiness. I would say hurtfulness, hurtful
Yeah.
results. Avidya
Yeah,
is hurtful,
helpfulness. Yes, helpful
hurtful results.
results.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's hurtful results. Mana uddacha avidya, mana uddacha avidya. Mana, Uddhacha, Avidya. These are three terms, Mana, Uddhacha, Avidya, because those three are in the Mangal Sutra. So I would like to go to Mahamangal Sutra tomorrow, which is in the third book, the last sutra in the third book, but I'm going to go very, very, very slowly. Maybe entire first verse will be discussed tomorrow. There are 10 verses,
Okay.
so I'm not going to give the entire thing, but I'm going to look at my plan is to look at the very first term and the
Yeah.
last term,
Yeah. Okay.
not fully. What Buddha said at the beginning, what Buddha said right at the end.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah. Take good care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really enjoy
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.